Hey everybody, Angie with Omega Star, and I'm with Joe, who owns Mini Golden Paradise, and we are continuing in our video series here of the whole curriculum. So what puppies go through from the early stages, week by week by week. You're going to get to see development changes, you're going to see growth, and you're going to see the curriculum that we do with them as they progress. So this little litter here is 19 days old, which means they're right at the end of the 0 to 2 week window. That means eyes and ears are open, and they will be starting their 3-week curriculum in just 3 days. So we start that at 21 days, which is just 3 days away. So we wanted to show you what all they're going to get to be part of. So the first thing that happens at week 3 is what we call the intro to socialization. So there is a fear stage that starts, their very first fear stage, and it starts at week 4. So from 3 weeks to 4 weeks, that 1 week, those 7 days, we get to imprint them with sound. And so this next week is so pivotal. It's actually, I have several favorite stages, but week 3 is one of them. Mainly because eyes are open, ears are open. When you enter the room, you probably notice that they'll start to acknowledge you. They may start a little bit at sound. They know where mom's at, when mom's coming in and out. It's just a really, really neat stage because they come out of that pod stage and they're just ready to start into our second stage, what we call baby beans. And this is really where the core learning starts. So it's soft and tender. This whole week is about tender exposure. So last 2 weeks, they've been really just nursing and sleeping and continuing development. And so right now they are starting to move around as well. So week 3, they also get their little legs underneath them. They're starting to get a little bit of strength.
They've really,
you see the difference in them?
That movement has really picked up in the past 3 or 4 days. Like they have really started to get more active.
And that's so cool because that's part of the physical changes that happen. And we use that in our curriculum, their movement and their development, to keep moving them forward. So week 3, you will often catch puppies, which is one of my favorite things, is you'll catch them almost mouthing one another, like alligator full out eat. Just wide open. There's no biting, it's just mouthing. And that mouthing signifies that they are ready to enter into the socialization period. And so it never gets old. And sometimes I catch it. And usually if I do, I'm like, oh, here we go, right? Here we go. Here starts our train. And so we're just going to slowly move forward at a very steady pace and just where they're at. So week 3, sound therapy, so sound conditioning. And the whole reason behind it is before that fear stage, if we can imprint them with sounds that could be fearful later in life, there is research that shows that generally they'll have more of a positive experience with it. Okay. Now, I always say there's never a 100% guarantee, but I will say that I have many families that tell us, thank you, at 4th of July, because fireworks is the first sound that we do, and we do it right out of the gate. So on day 21, we're going to start that fireworks with intensity. It's very strong sound. And right now, everything has been soft and gentle for them, right? So their ears are very new and very, very high alert. And so we're going to play fireworks for them. About 10 to 15 minutes is how long they're going to listen. During that time, we're also going to put out soft toys, which they've been moving around for a little bit. So usually 5 to 10 minutes, and they're tired. The very beginning of week 3, they will start to just kind of nuzzle these. They may move them around. They may sniff them. The end of week 3, they're going to start picking them up. And so it's pretty neat to see, just the interest, right? If you'd have put this out 3 to 4 days prior, there'd have been no interest at all.
Nothing.
I mean, they're just not ready for it. So they're going to get their sound therapy. They're going to get their puppy massage. So we're going to start that massage with structure. So when we did handling 0 to 2 weeks, we're just kind of touching them, right? We're putting them in different positions, which we call ENS. But week 3 is really about an intentional massage that we're going to follow through daily, all the way until departure, until they find their forever homes. And we increase that with intensity. So we saw very, very soft, very, very tender. And they're also getting their soft toys. So there's 3 things that happen this week. And we want to make sure that they're getting great exposures with that. So I will show you, we use different playlists, but mine is on Spotify. Sometimes we YouTube them. So we're going to play fireworks for you. What we're looking for is some sort of response. We're not playing the sound for the response, though. So we're just observing what you will see more than likely. Generally, you'll see more movement. You could hear a little more vocalization. Somebody's already vocalizing. You could see that. You could see ear twitching, things like that. So while you're doing it for the curriculum piece, it would be done for about 15 minutes. Okay, now I got to get my technology to work for these. There we go.
Oh yeah, they're responding.
Yeah, there they are, right?
Oh yeah.
It's so cool.
And what's cool is at this point, they have no fear of it.
That's right.
It's not like they're
Right.
trying to get away
We're
from
not
it or
causing any
anything.
harm
No.
in any way. So what we're doing is just exposing them to loud sounds. And then what will happen is when they experience that, they have connection. So they have another puppy to cuddle with. Yes, hello. And if any puppy at this point, like something to note is if any puppy would express a little bit more concern, then you just pick them up. If you put them to the heart, it neutralizes them. Just kind of cuddle them a little bit and generally back with the others and they're all set. So we're just trying to imprint them. Later on in the curriculum, towards week 7 or so, I like to play it again.
Yeah.
Just by that point, they're fully mobile. They're running around, like they're almost ready to go home within a couple days. And so by that point, it's just kind of a reintroduction. And even once puppies go home, families can play this. Like I say, in school, we don't just teach them mathematics and then expect them to know it or addition. No, we refresh, right? Kids come back off a spring break and what do? They refresh. They're going to come back to it. So when you get your new puppy home, it's entirely up to you how you set up your lifestyle, but I like to set mine up with education and continual exposure so that I have the right experiences later on. I can't control everything, but I can control what they're exposed to. And so I like to make sure, you're okay, make sure that they're getting all that. So puppy massage. Let's take the little one that loves to have a little bit more vocal. Let's see how you do, huh? Yeah. So we start by reverse petting. We go from the tail up the back. The reason being is because a normal pet goes this direction, right? So we want them to get used to. We're slightly inconveniencing them. So yeah, let's do it together. So reverse pet, up the head. This is just the direction I do it. It just makes sense because it goes easier. Go up the head, down between the eyes. I take one finger down between the eyes. I tap their nose. Yep, there was a little start. Oh, you opened for me. Open the mouth. So vets love this for us and groomers when they get to start cleaning their teeth. So once they open the mouth, then I come back up and I rub each ear. Now at this point it's week 3, so it's going to be very, very soft. But as we increase with intensity, we're actually going to apply a little bit of tension there. A little bit of a tug. Itty bitty. There you go. You're doing excellent. Then I come down each leg to the paw pads, separating it, and then pushing on those paw pads. That prepares again for grooming. You're doing great, superstar. Huh? You like your massage. And separate down to each back leg. And then we go down the tail, and I twirl it. So I roll it around my finger and tug. Now when they're older, closer to 6-7 weeks, we're going to pat on the back pretty firmly. But at this point, it's just a gentle tap. And I usually just tap it back down the tail. And then the final is they go back on their back. Yes. Now at this stage, we can still do this comfortably, right? Once they get much older, then maybe more so in the arms. Look at you. This is a learned behavior. So
They've been in this position quite a bit.
But not long, like
No.
10
No.
seconds, 10, 15 seconds a day. So really, this little one side. Look at this. Oh my word, look at this. Fully relaxed.
Fully relaxed.
Good job, buddy. And then I like to bring them just back up to the heart. Kind of make sure they're cuddled in. And then they go back to mom. So all of this happens. Under 4 weeks, all curriculum is done right where mom is. Just making sure that everything is soft and tender. Mom's involved. It's a great opportunity to get pet mom, like just mom transfers all of that behavior to their puppies. And so when she's involved in the whole process, it's just kind of I feel like I have an opportunity to imprint her too. So it's
Definitely.
a great, great experience. I think the connection with your mothers when you have puppies is just, there's nothing like it. They're sensitive and they're tender and they're so loving, and it's just a great experience to bond with them as well. So week 3, intro to socialization. It's all about that sound therapy. So I like to call it sound conditioning. Their gentle puppy massage and their soft toys. So as we transfer to week 4, we're going to continue on in our curriculum. We're going to keep advancing them. So you'll get to see, first of all, the puppies growing, and then you'll also get to see like the toys will start to get bigger and more fun for them. So I think that covers it for week 3. It's a very soft and tender a week, but it's also very, very pivotal in the impressions that you as a breeder, what you can do for the puppy's adulthood, like the difference you can make in them now. So with the sound therapy, I only mentioned fireworks, but pots and pans, slamming door. I like to bang like your feeding pans together. Sweepers, anything that is loud sounds that may be something that they wouldn't encounter on a day-to-day basis. Loud voices, clapping of hands, things like that. So the puppies are doing excellent. Joe actually mentioned to me, he said they've grown, and I said, what did I say to you?
Yeah.
I said, that's incredible, right?
It is.
By
It is.
10 days, puppies double in weight. So from birth to 10 days, they generally double in weight.
And these are almost 20 days.
They're almost 20
19,
days, yeah.
So,
So they'd have been almost 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the doubling happened, but they're still like, this is where the eyes open. They start to look like a real puppy. Not that they weren't before, but they
Yeah.
really look like a little loved one. I
And
love
it's even
their
amazing.
faces.
Like you can almost like their personalities are
Starting
starting
to
to come
show.
just a little bit. Like it's very subtle.
You'll see so this little one here may tend to be a little more vocal in curriculum, or may have a different response. But as far as the sound goes, I've often had people ask me, like, is there like a correlation to what their exposure or what their response was to that sound later in life? There isn't. At this point, it's all about impressions. So we're just doing exposure, soft and tender exposures to puppies. All puppies get to have a voice, they get to have a choice, and they all participate. And so it's amazing. There's always late bloomers, early bloomers in every litter, but a 7-day turn is amazing how like the early ones or the late ones are like all caught up, and then they're ready to move forward. And so it's really fun to watch them develop. So this has been week 3 curriculum for Omega Star. We're here at Mini Paradise, Golden Paradise, with Joe and his lovely litter. This particular litter, you're going to get to follow along all the way through. 2 little girls that are highlighted by their bows. And they got bigger bows because they grew.
got bigger.
They grew. Yeah, and 4 little boys. And so I'm sure, do you have availability on the litter?
Yes, we do have 1 girl available and 3 of the boys are still available.
Yep. So they're early on, 19 days. They're going to be with us a little while yet. They got to continue growing and get weaned and get all the things ready to go head for the forever home. So thanks so much for watching with us today. Next week, we'll start week 4.
Yes.
So this will be a continuation of the curriculum and watching the puppies learn and grow. Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you next week.